Yo, Sanmanan, guys. As I just finished watching this YouTube clip, it's called The Mating Crisis. The Mating Crisis. Why the dating market is doomed. Yeah, no, guys. Yo. I'm watching this thing and it's just breaking down all the things that I'm seeing around relationships and the dating market. So it's it's talking about how OCC. So women are hypergamous, meaning ukuthi OCC either date on their level or above. And what's currently happening is as OCC becomes stronger financially in today's world, as they become more independent, as they become a larger and more powerful voice, the dating market for who they are choosing is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. So if you are a graduate and you are working in a upper middle class space, earning let's say 45,000 rand and above, you as Usisi are looking for a man who is just as competent, if not more, earning just on your level, if not more. How many men in this country are earning 45,000 rand and more? How many single men are earning 45,000 rand and more? So what is happening is that majority of men are not getting partners. Majority of men are not dating. Majority of men are not being picked by females. We're not saying females lower your standards. No. Females need to keep the standards where they are purely because that's how we have stronger generations, by you picking the strongest of the men. But what is happening in today's society is that society is pressing for our sisters to get stronger and stronger, more and more educated, to earn higher and higher. Whereas many generations before, our grandmothers and the generations above them, they stayed at home and then the men had to go work and hunt and earn a living, whatever the case is. Therefore, there were more men available for women. And what's happening now is women have gotten stronger and stronger, and the standard that they want, goes higher as they get stronger, rightfully so. The pool of guys are getting less and less and less and less. And you left with the majority of men who are lost, majority of men who are depressed, who are anxious, who are alone. There's nothing worse than a testosterone filled, lost, angry, depressed young man. You take that individual, you put him in the world. We see what's happening in America with the shootings. We see what's happening in our own country with the murder, the crime stats. These are a lot of angry men. These are a lot of angry men who are lost. I'm not blaming women. No. I'm just saying with a society, it's something for us to think about. With the dating market, now you as a sister go and you study. You as a sister, you go and you find this job and you climb the corporate ladder. Are you also thinking, Wuti, as I climb, the pool of men that I have access to becomes smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller? They cite a Tinder study in this little clip that I watched, and they said, Wuti, 60% of men on when using Tinder swipe right, meaning Wuti, sharp, let's go, I'm happy. Whereas only 4% of women swipe right. That's crazy. It just shows you how picky men are. I mean, how picky women are in comparison to men, you know. And another thing that I always tell our sisters, and I always tell Amantu Mazan, Guti, sis, you must understand, Guti, a man's standard for sleeping with you versus a man's standard for dating you is not the same. So you have this very, very few men that you think you've got access to that are driving that car, have that job, earn this income. And just because he's willing to sleep with you doesn't mean he's willing to date you. A lot of women are sleepable, but they're not dateable. Because again, a guy's standard to date is here, and just to sleep with you is there. And now you've got this whole situation where you've got this pool of women that are all attracted to the same small group of men, and this small group of men is dictating the rules on how to move. So this small group of men are talking about polygamy. This small group of men are playing around our sisters, flipping them every weekend. This small group of men are aggressive. This little small group of men are telling women off or moving however they want. Whereas the majority of men, they're not getting a single DM. They're not getting a like. They're not even getting 100 followers on Instagram. Like, majority of men are struggling. Sisters are walking around, I can't find a man, I can't find a good guy. They're everywhere. You can't find a good guy. You can't find a nice guy, a loyal guy, a funny guy, a smart guy who is at your level or above. That's how you need to cite your little terms and conditions. Oh, I can't find a good guy that is on my financial level, my mental level, my standard of living, and above. Those are the men that I can't find. Unless, again, you're willing to, for my culture at least, go traditional and enter a polygamous relationship. Because then that small group of men, then you guys can then build families around the small group of men. But if you are saying, Oguti, I am 35 years old, single female, I'm an MD in my company, I'm earning 120,000 Rand a month, I'm looking for a guy who is 38 years old and above, who's also earning 150k and above, who has no kids, who's never been divorced, who's gonna love me and only me, and is good looking and is 6 foot tall, and he's got a chiseled jawline and six packy and tall, dark and handsome. Yo. So guys, do yourself a favor. I don't know how to add links of clips. So someone in my comments, please help me. It's called the mating crisis. It's called the mating crisis, and it's just speaking on how doomed we are. You know, so many sisters, so many qualified, smart sisters earning great salaries. Very, very few guys, and it's the few guys who everyone is going for. You put a room, you have 100 sisters, you have 100 gents. The 100 sisters are going to go for the same 10 gents. These 100 sisters, they're going to go for the same 10 gents. And the other 90 gents, ain't nobody cares about them. Therefore, the same gents are going to be playing with all these sisters. Then these guys are going to become extremely picky. These guys are going to start dictating the rules on how it's going to go. Even the worst of the worst lady wants this top 10 guy. The worst of the worst. The lowest achiever in whatever you deem is achieving standards. The worst of the worst is still going to want the top 10 guy. She's not going to go for the 90% if she had a choice. Yo, but it was very thought-provoking. The dating market is fucked. We've got a real relationship crisis. And if we don't come together as a people and talk and unpack and learn from each other, how can I meet you halfway? How can you meet me halfway? How can we grow in this space? Let's stop clashing. Let's stop bumping heads. If we don't come together and have these conversations, I guys with the pambili, but let me know what you think. That's my interpretation of that clip. Obviously it goes crazy in depth. It's not too long, it's 12 minutes long. So watch it. Someone who's smarter than me, please make sure to add the link in the comments or whatever the case may be. Let's have conversations around it. Let's see how we can grow, how we can learn, and how we can become better selves. Anyway, guys, ngiyantanda, nibe great. Sharp.